Hi, I'm Saidah Nairobi, and you're watching Inside the Industry TV. Oh my gosh, I've always loved dance. I've always been connected to music since I was a young girl. Earliest memories just revolve around music and dancing. Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson, Janet, Mary J. Blige, Real Love, Motown. I grew up on all those kind of sounds of music. So I just naturally loved dancing around the house, singing around the house. I went to a performing arts high school in Atlanta, and that's where I really got to do a lot more, dancing outside of just being at home in the living room, moving around and stuff like that. I really got to dance with my peers and choreograph and create movement and do talent shows and compete in different events. And then I went to college and I started studying to become a teacher, and I was a part of an organization called Couture in North Carolina, and I was just around some super hungry people that just really made me realize that I could do more with dance than just it be a hobby. So that was really the turning point for me in my life when I went to college and was like, you know what, I want to pursue dance full time, like for real, like go in and really make it happen. So college is where the seed really was planted for me to step into the realm of the world I live in now as a dancer.
Absolutely, and that's big because a lot of people don't really believe in college or further in their education, go straight to the job there. So, I think that's a very big tip. Even for myself, looking back at college, I sometimes say, oh, I could have did it without going to college. But
Yeah.
You're right, that social aspect and that,
Yeah.
extracurricular activities can definitely further your life.
It could, and it's crazy because I can't say I didn't graduate. I left. I ended up leaving to pursue dance, but it definitely gave me a different perspective on life that I wouldn't have had, just socially, just being in that college experience. So I actually did leave, but I feel like I got the best of both worlds because I was able to experience college life, but I did leave a little earlier than people that were able to finish their degree did to start pursuing my career. And it was great because I did look back and I was like, the same year that I would have graduated from college was the same year that I booked my first tour. So it was like, that was, me going through the grind was that time, that period, and I still graduated, but in a different space. It was like, I finally graduated to my career without a degree, but it's okay.
Amen.
It still worked out.
So just to touch on that, from the time you left college to the time you went on your first world tour, what's the time frame, and then tell us about the hard work that you put in to get to your first world tour.
It was 2.5 years from the time I left college to the time I got my first professional gig touring as a dancer. And the grind was real. There were times where I may have, been overwhelmed by just the idea, like, okay, I never doubted that it was gonna happen, but it was just like overwhelmed by the amount of time it was taking to see it happen. I was like, okay, when is that break gonna come through? Like, oh my God. But I never doubted that it was gonna happen. I just always believed, like, timing is everything. And so, sometimes you get impatient because you're just excited. You want it to happen. You feel it. You're like right on the brink of that breakthrough. And, that's what that journey was for me. But I just grinded it out. Like, I made, very core, important, foundational relationships during that experience, people that have been in my life since then, that were before my first major job, my agent, a lot of friends that I grinded it out with in this industry that have gone on to make, open up studios and choreograph for major artists and everything. So we were able to go through the grind together and see the success stories of us just really duking it out over the years and make things happen for ourselves. So I appreciate that part of the journey. Like, it's not even so much just getting to the destination as it is really what you learn and what you grow from and being in the journey. So it was a grind, but it was worth it. I don't even have a routine, to be honest. Like, every day I flow. Like, it depends on there's so many things I'm doing right now. Like one of the major things I'm focused on right now is releasing my memoir that I wrote, and I've been writing this book for years. I was inspired to write it after touring on Usher's OMG tour, because I just felt like I was gaining a lot of fans from Beyonce world, from Usher world, and even working with Ciara, and I feel like I was getting a lot of the similar questions of how I got my start, what tour I enjoyed, the most, what country I love the most, what's the hardest part about being on tour, just different questions that people had. And I was like, you know what, I just need to tell my story in one place, in one book. So that's what I've been working on. So that's been a core focus. Also music. So sometimes I'll have meetings with people. I'll be having sessions. I do praise and worship at my church. So some days I have to go and be at the church and practice for a Sunday service. And yeah, spending quality time with family and friends, catching up on the years that I've been on the grind, doing tours and stuff like that. So now I get to be home, and so I try to spend a lot of time with family and friends, time with my husband, and yeah, so it's a different, like every day is different. Every day is different. And even doing privates, like, I have, some women that are interested in me just doing like one-on-one sessions with them. So I'm trying to get that on the schedule. Just getting back into my world, because when you're on tour, you're in a whole nother realm. And so when you back home, it's like you get back to yourself and back into your own flow of things. So a lot of people don't know that I started off with Ciara. A lot of people, because I was identified as the dancer with the blonde hair on Beyonce's tour, a lot of people thought that I started working with Ciara after Beyonce's tour, but I actually started working with Ciara a year prior, and she was the artist that I was very set on working with when I came into this industry. Jamaica was the choreographer that I was set on working with when I first pursued dance, and they were like my dream team that I wanted to be a part of. And so that first year that I got my first break as a dancer on tour was the same year that I ended up working with Ciara. And it happened because she was on the video set of The Dream, who was the artist I was touring with. She was there for I Love You Girl, the video we were shooting, watching in the corner, and I saw her and I was like, that's Ciara? Okay. I got to really be on my A game, because this could be a potential opportunity for me to actually, see my dream come true. And a few weeks later, Jamaica called me that Ciara wanted me to be one of her dancers for the video for Nelly, featuring her and JD, Stepped on My J's. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people just know me from Beyonce's I Am tour, and I was like, nah, my journey started a year prior to that, and it was with Ciara, and that was like my dream artist to work with. So, and she's been the most consistent artist that I've worked with over the years. We've had a 9-year now working relationship, and we've actually become friends now. So that's really dope to go from it being like employer-employee relationship to actually being friends. So that's dope. When I first started out, that was the thing. It was like you make one job become 2 more jobs after that, because it's all about relationships. So the choreographer may be working with another artist, which was the situation for me in that realm. I was dancing with The Dream, Jamaica was choreographing for The Dream, and she also was choreographing for Ciara. So it was like, I was there, I was in that moment, so it was just a matter of me just showing up and being who I am and allowing Ciara to see that and see that I was someone that could really, rock with her and her squad. And that's what it's about, like just always making sure you show up and be ready when opportunity comes for you, because you never know who is watching, and you never know who may be looking for something that you have. The open hearts of people, especially in Brazil. Like Brazil put a huge impression on me. Because it was just love. Like they speak Portuguese, I speak English, but there was a connection, like the language and movement just really connected them with me, and they go so hard. Like it didn't matter how many years gap it was between my last job with B and this, formation tour and Lemonade and everything, like, they followed me through everything. They were like, oh my God, I just saw you on the BET Awards. Oh my God, that was amazing. I'm like on a Black entertainment television show and from Brazil. Like they rock with me with everything. And that really touches me, and it's really kept me going with just being inspired to share more who I am, and in writing a book, and doing music and stuff. It's like people really connect with me and want more from me, that I'm not able to show just from dance, you know what I'm saying? And that's really impressed on me, just how cultures know no boundaries, and when it comes to love, and when it comes to really just connecting with the spirit of somebody, and the fact that on my journey I've been able to connect with people from all different backgrounds has been the most powerful thing to me, and that's inspired me greatly in my journey. It's my biggest fear. Not reaching my highest potential. Like what I'm completely capable of doing in this lifetime, like just missing the goal, missing the mark. That is my biggest fear. Because I feel so strongly that I have so much purpose attached to me, and I really just feel like there's so much I want to do, so much, and so I have to get out of my way. And fear is a huge factor in holding any of us back from doing what we do. And something that I've learned along my journey is that same leap of faith that I had as a dancer, I have to apply it to every element of my life that I want to evolve in. Even, just evolving into a wife, evolving to become a mother one day, evolving to be an artist, to be an author. Like, it's all about just really just attacking everything that I'm supposed to do, and just taking it head on, and really just living in faith and not fear. Even though that is something that I'm like, okay, Lord, like you give me so much to do that you in my heart that I want to accomplish. Can I do it all? And it's just like, yes, I can. So even though it is a big fear, I don't have to worry about it, because it's gonna be what it's supposed to be. So key ingredients: sauce, which basically is just your own style, your flavor, your flair, that makes you unique and makes you who you are, that nobody else can touch or be. Work ethic, you just being professional at all times, paying attention to detail, being a hard worker, not being lazy, showing up, being present in the moment when you're on a job, and just really taking in the entire environment around you. And then, so you have sauce, you got work ethic, and always being a student. I think that's a great ingredient as well, a key ingredient, because there's always something to learn, and the moment you stop becoming a student is the moment you stop growing. You always have to constantly be evolving yourself and growing and being a student and soaking up the new and the old. There's a lot to learn from where we come from. There's a lot to learn from what's current too. And so I think those are the three key ingredients. First book release, my dance memoir titled Leap of Faith, The Journey of a Dream. I'm so excited about this book because I've been working on it for so many years, and it really just reveals so much about my story that I haven't been able to share. It's just all in one body of work. I get to tell you the beginning journey, the in-betweens, those years, those 2.5 years before I got my first big break. What was I doing? What was I learning? Where was I? I tell you that. I tell you about what it was like booking my first job and what that experience was, getting that dream job of working with Ciara in Jamaica, and what that was like, evolving and working with Beyonce, and how that experience was, how I got that job. That story is a whole, I had to break that journey into 3 chapters for the I Am tour, because it was so much from that tour that was so pivotal in my life. I talk about the OMG tour, working with Usher, the first male entertainer that I got to tour with. I talk about becoming a wife, meeting my husband on the road. I talk about tour life, what that's like. tidbits, dream nuggets, how you can actually make it happen for you, and just how taking that leap of faith really takes you so far. You know, you just take one little leap and then it's like a domino effect. Like it just keeps going if you just trust God and believe in yourself. So I'm excited about that. And then also music, recording new material, and I anticipate releasing an EP this year. I don't know when it's coming out, but because I'm in the creative process and I don't want to put a time limit on it, but it will be out. So be on the lookout for all that. We Are just came out, and oh my gosh, that was so fun to do. That was my first time actually being able to create a video, create music, and actually put a body of work out in that realm. Like I've seen, you know, artists that I work with have to do this, and so doing it on my own for the first time was really, really dope. Just producing, editing, coming up with the video treatment for We Are, and the song is a socially empowering record that really was just impressed on my heart to do because of the climate of Black Lives Matter and just that whole time period. It was just a lot going on in the news, and just being an African American woman and just seeing how the news was projecting so much negative just energy on the community, and just it was always just something bad in the news every other day. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this isn't who we are. You know, we're kings, we're queens, we're royalty. Like, we're trailblazers. Like, look at the history of where we come from. You know, from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa, Oprah, you know, Harriet Tubman. Like, the list goes on. Frederick Douglass, Thurgood Marshall, Maya Angelou, like Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen. Like, there's so many people that we can look back on and be like, you know, we come from a very strong lineage of people, and the media is trying to just distract us from who we really are. And so this song was just a reminder, like, we are trailblazers, we're game changers, way makers, we're peace driven, you know, we're truth seeking, and that's just who we, you know, need to always remember that we are. And that's really what the song is about. I put a lot of homage to Fela Kuti in it with the trumpets. I love it. I'm thankful that my first song and the first visual that I had to that song incorporated my family. I had my entire family in the video. My friends, my best friends from high school were all a part of it. And it was just powerful. The colors in it so rich, so meaningful. So check it out. It's on YouTube. It's under Saidah Nairobi, We Are. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, Saidah, SAIDAH, that's my handle for Facebook as well. You can go to my website and read my bio and more about me, and follow the journey with my book, with my new music, with the video, on SaidahNairobi.com. So that's me.